Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber. Today I want to talk about my end of the year TBR. I do have a couple chunky ones on here, so I don't know if I'm really gonna get to all of these, but it's a hope of mine. And I figured we'd start with the books that I have physically. So the first one is One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I keep seeing this everywhere, and for the most part, I've seen pretty good reviews of them. I don't think I've seen any 5 stars, but I've seen quite a few 4 stars on these. And this says, in modern-day Manhattan, where we lay our scene, 2 rival witch families fight to maintain control of their respective criminal empires. So that one, I didn't really know much about it before I bought it. I just saw a couple of people, like I saw Sarah Crowley read this, and I want to say there was another YouTuber that I saw read it and enjoyed it, but I can't remember exactly who it was, but Sarah Crowley was the one that mainly made me get this book. Then we have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This one I saw Haley Pham reading, and she really enjoyed it, so again, she's the one that made me pick this one up. And this one, I want to say she said it was Hunger Games in Space. Yeah, well, there it is. Hunger Games in Space. This one says, his wife taken, his people enslaved, driven by a longing for justice and the memory of lost love, Darrow will stop at nothing to bring down his enemies, even if he must become one of them to do so. And next we have Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. I had that on my TBR for this month, but I will say I got through most of my TBR. I'm proud of myself for that one. But after reading Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, I could not move on without reading the next book. That book, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. You'll hear more about that in the end of the month wrap up. I did end up moving on to The Ballad of Never After instead of moving on to this. So, end of the year, I want to get to this one. I guess since I gave a little rundown of the first two. This one, I'm just going to read like the big, bold top portion of it. 2 sisters, 1 brutal murder, a quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself, and an intoxicating romance. Now we get to the thickums. I'm thinking maybe next month. I'm hoping. I'm trying to think of what all comes out next month. I don't think there's really any book releases next month, so I really want to get to The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I've been putting this book off for almost a year now. So I really want to get to this book. And then we have House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. I think I'm going to read this book in December so that I can read this as close to House of Flame and Shadow as possible. Because that one comes out January 30th of next year, and I don't want to put too much of a gap in between, just because with how big this book is, I really don't want to forget much of what happens. So, that one's probably going to be a December read. And now we'll move on to all of the books that I don't have right now. The first one is going to be Foxglove by Adeline Grace. This one I did pre-order from Barnes & Noble, and it did just get released. My order's on its way. It's going to be here on Monday, so that one's probably going to be like an immediate TBR for next month, because I do really want to find out what happened in that one. Then we have A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. That one comes out on October 24th, and I am in the middle of A Ballad of Never After, so I cannot wait for that one to come out. I kind of wish that I would have waited until like a little bit closer to its release, but whatever. Next up, I want to read Powerless by Lauren Roberts. That one I also saw Sarah Crowley read, and she really liked the book, and she was reading like the synopsis, and it sounded really interesting to me. Then we have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I don't think I really have to say much about that book. It has been a extremely hyped book lately, and I feel late to the party. So that one's going to be a pretty soon read for me. Then I have Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. That one is kind of like Gossip Girl set in, I think it's Britain. That one, I just really want to read it because I absolutely love Gossip Girl. I'm in the middle of like my 5th or 6th rewatch of that show, so really looking forward to that one. Another one is, of course, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. That one comes out on November 7th. I absolutely loved Fourth Wing. Cannot wait for that. Then we have Two Twisted Crowns, which is the next book after, it's in the Shepherd King series, which comes after One Dark Window. And that one, I don't remember if I said, but that one's by Rachel Gillig. That one comes out on October 19th. I am really looking forward to that one because I did love One Dark Window. I believe I gave it 4.5 stars. It's kind of like a gothic fairy tale, so I loved it. I thought it was really, really good, so highly recommend that one. Yeah, so one that I do really want to read, I just saw a TikTok, just like a short sentence from it, but it's Death's Obsession, and it's by Avina St. Graves. That one, I believe it was Kindle Unlimited, but that one is, the only thing I know about it is that it's about like the Grim Reaper stalking a girl, so I don't really have much else to go off of, and that's what made me decide that I want to read it. And so I downloaded it onto my Kindle and have it ready for my next read. Another one that I do really want to read soon is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I want to start reading more romance books, but most of the books that I read are fantasy. I'm trying to kind of branch out a little bit more, and I always hear really good things about Lynn Painter's books, and so I think that's one that I want to read pretty soon. Let me know some recommendations of romance books that you guys really enjoyed. I loved Beach Read by Emily Henry. I haven't read any of her other books. I've tried starting the American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas 2 times now, and I don't make it very far in before I stop reading. I think the farthest I've made it is like 30 pages in, and I always end up stopping because it's just not what I'm in the mood for. I did also read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I did like that book. I don't know, I just never really feel like I'm in the mood for a romance. I do have The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood, which I really want to get to because I don't think I've really heard any bad things about that book. So I'll probably try and get to that one too. Yeah, let me know some recommendations on what your guys' favorites are. I'd love to hear. But that is all I have for you guys today. Please leave a thumbs up if you liked this video, and make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date with all my future videos, and I will see you in the next one.